What's up, everybody? It's your girl Q1. I am back. Woo! I am back with Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 10, episode 11. Wanda-ful chaos. First of all, Miss Pump It Up, aka Miss Spritz, aka it's the Bob for me, is back. Okay, Miss Wanda Bob was like this. Okay, stiff wear. Stiff wear. Before I start, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell button so you can be updated on every video I drop. Make sure that I like the videos so I can stay in the algorithm. So the episode starts with Latricia. She invited Tisha over to her house, and she tells Tisha how her and Ken have been arguing and how she's seeking therapy and how therapy is working out for her. Latricia said that it was good to see Latricia in therapy. And I guess my question was, y'all remember when Tisha was in therapy some seasons ago? I just wanted to know if she still was in therapy, but maybe not by Dr. Francis, but at least by somebody else. Because something tells me that she completely stopped, and I wish she would have stayed in therapy. Like, I hope that her visit to Dr. Francis wasn't just for the show, just like Latricia. I hope it's not just for the show, because honestly, Latricia really needs a therapy, and this is no shade. She is a hard shell of a person. And it's like she's one of those people who really needs a hug. And, you know, she really needs to continuously see Dr. Francis. I'm just saying. I think that this would do her so much good. So much good. And I like Latricia. But I just want to see that difference in, like, you know, if they come back for another season, that difference that therapy has done for her, because you can totally tell when somebody has, you know, gone to therapy. Anyway, she invites Latricia to Whack Ass Bessemer for her mom's food truck. Latricia can't go because they'll be in Miami for Xavier's birthday weekend. So Tisha talks to Latricia about the Nell situation and how Nell was elevating her voice. And y'all know I don't think Nell was yelling, but okay. Anyway, Nell, we didn't see Nell have a conversation with Fletch. She tells her side. She don't think she was loud. She told them, you know, they kept asking me questions. I said I was good. I said we ain't got nothing to talk about. I don't have nothing to say. I ain't got nothing to talk about on that end. I feel like Kimmy started this whole bullshit because you the one who tried to facilitate. Well, you wanted to facilitate. You asked Nell to come out to talk to Tisha. She told you, like, why would I do that? But you was like, well, I'll be there, ma'am. The way you and your sister-in-law like to, you know, go in on people. Yeah, I'm good on that. Anyway, at the end of the day, I like Kimmy, but Kimmy is messy as fuck. Okay, and we just gonna call a thing. All right? And even at the table when they talked to Wanda, Kimmy didn't say a mother clucking word. Not a word. Okay? So, Nell was talking about, you know, about they mentioned her grandchild. Now, Nell, didn't nobody say nothing about your grandchild. Please, don't do that. I do not like when y'all play with words. All she said was, well, Nell said, you're not coming. They left because your son went to go have a baby or something to that effect. That's what happened. And you said she need to keep my name out her mouth, which is valid because, again, this all stems from something. Okay? And Destiny took her messy ass over here and told what happened. So all of you hoes is messy if you ask me. All of y'all. Okay? I think Trish just kind of go along to get along. So she gonna be over here. And everybody just kept saying Nell was yelling. Now, I just want to point out, next week, that's yelling. The way she gonna be acting with them damn children as she do, that wasn't Nell acting like this. She might have had a slight tone in it was a octave, one octave up, but that's octave up. But the lady wasn't yelling. Okay? She just wasn't yelling. Alright. I just feel like the ladies don't really want Nell on the show because they don't really see it for Nell. The only people that actually like Nell genuinely is Destiny and Trisha. But I also feel like Trisha is, she blow with the wind. Destiny, I really think Destiny actually liked Nell. Alright? So Tisha said she's gonna keep Nell name out her motherfucking mouth, but for some reason for this episode you could not keep Nell's name out your mother clucking mouth. Alright? So then we get to Latricia and Dr. Francis. And Latricia tells Dr. Francis since the last session she went to visit her parents' gravesite and she cried. Dr. Francis actually validates her by telling her, heading to their site, actually allowing yourself to emotionally feel is you showing growth. Then they start to get into the kind of the nitty gritty of her relationship. She tells Dr. Francis that her and Marquez, they're separated. They've been separated for 6 years, but she is currently in a relationship with Ken, aka Kenny. Okay? And she said how when the kids met Ken, they immediately attached themselves to Ken. And that's probably because Marquez is gone and he needed to fill that void with somebody. So Ken came along being nice. Just my personal opinion. He came along being nice, and so the kids attached themselves to Ken. Trisha said she became jealous of it. And she was like, because those are my kids. And again, this is her holding on to people because she doesn't want to experience loss. But loss is the way of the world. And this is why I want Trisha to continue therapy. So she can have the understanding that loss is inevitable. Like, it's just the way it is. It's going to happen. All right? And it's hard depending on what loss it is, but it's inevitable. You can't stop it. You can't control it. It has to happen. It has to happen. Anyway, she said that her kids always came to her for everything. And then when Ken came along, it was just like, man, they're going to him for everything. And so she used to make like really smart mouth jokes. Jokes. She used to say little fly stuff and try to pan it off as a joke. But she was really serious. But at the same time, y'all know that was just her being passive aggressive. And she would make those jokes towards Ken. And I think Trisha did not know she didn't know how to express herself. So that's where the jokes came from. That's where the passive aggression came from. Like, I don't know how to express myself. Like, I want to see Trish in her best self. I really do not think this storyline is annoying. I actually enjoy watching this part of her storyline and seeing how her and Ken develop whatever relationship we do see on Instagram. Because again, we can only see whatever they display on Instagram for us in real time. Anyway, Dr. Francis asked if she was mad that the kids were attached to Ken, or because Ken is a good guy and she could be jealous because Ken is really supposed to be about you and you see that he's about these kids. And I don't think she was able to answer that. I probably should have notated that, but I didn't. So he talks to her about her being self-protected and how she goes out of her way to protect herself, and he compares her to a pistachio. And tell her that she's like that because she's in fear, because of the fear of losing someone. Like, that is a lot. That is a lot. When I look at Trisha, to me, it just seemed like the space that we see on the show is that she's just always having headaches because she don't know where to place all of this anger. But it was really so sad for her to say that she's a ball of, and she said that last week, I believe, how she was just so angry. That's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. Anyway, Tisha, Kimmy, and Destiny are on their way to Bessemer, and I'm like, is this a cash trip? Because I don't know which one was worse. This one or the one where we went to Tiffany's town, hometown. I don't know. Anyway, Tisha and Nell just, at this point, they want to be victims of this whole debacle that they both have going on. And they was talking about how much Nell was yelling. And I just was like, Nell just wasn't yelling. I don't know. Just based on how she is with her kids, I was like, yeah, that wasn't Nell yelling. We've seen her yell. They just need something to talk about. Anyway, Tisha said once again she was going to keep Nell's name out of her mouth, but she's not. And I also feel like when they talked about how Nell, not Nell, but Fletch was talking about Marceau in him and the NDAs and the DNAs of it all. And Tisha went at Fletch. Nell was just telling her, hey, don't come at my husband. If you have a problem with my husband, then you tell me. If you have a problem with my husband, then you talk to your husband and he'll talk to me. She didn't say that, but I'm just saying, basically, if you have a problem with my husband, then you come to me. Because Tisha was in that man's face. Drunk or not, you really was in that man's face. Like, yeah, no. And I always feel like anytime it comes to Marceau in a Maurice situation, Kimmy's going to be, as we've seen over the years, Kimmy has been extremely quiet. Tisha has been extremely vocal, where she felt like she always had to stand up for Marceau. And you don't. Especially if Marceau ain't standing up for himself. Like, if he's not saying nothing about it, why would you say something about it? But because you feel a way. You want to know what the real truth is because you're not settled. Here, it's in here. You're dysregulated. All up and through here. Girl, like, don't nobody want Marceau but you. Okay? I don't know. Marceau seems like a nice guy. He seems like a fun guy. I really don't care about none of those rumors. It is what it is. Like, y'all been together all this time. It really doesn't matter what people think or say. But apparently, underneath all of that, to Tisha, it still matters. It still matters. So, Destiny asked, like, are you bothered or whatever? She stood up. Do it look like I'm bothered? And I'm like, yeah. But whatever. That's just my personal opinion. Okay? Then we start to talk about Destiny and her niggas and her roster and her rap sheet. Okay? I just feel like Destiny, don't be over here with Twan. Listen, Twan is fine as a mother clucker. And Will. But Ken has confirmed that Will ain't nothing but a hoe, which is probably Twan is a hoe. Okay, he just seemed like he really quiet about his hoism. Okay. But yeah, they're just really looking to smash, and I really hope Destiny ain't. I believe her when she says she ain't issuing out her coochie to these men, and I really hope not, because all they're gonna do is talk about you. So go find a new, okay? That's it. Just go find a new, and keep them away from Sonny, okay? So we get to Trisha and Ken. They go out to eat. And Ken is like, I'm so glad Trisha's in therapy. And I'm just looking at Ken like, sir, but you need to be in therapy. Because we still want to know, what is it about this married woman, even though she's separated, but you're still going through all of this, willing to go through all of this with somebody and still be under their kids, which I don't know if I don't know. But Ken does give me, I go around looking for women with kids. Sometimes I don't know. Do you have kids, Ken? Like, I don't think Ken has children, and I think he wants his own children. And I think when he took Trisha's kids in as his own, probably because he wants his own, and we don't really know the whole story about that either. But I just feel like Trisha not the only one that need therapy, especially if you are so immune to Trisha and how she operate, and you've been with this lady for all of these years. Something tells me you need a little therapy too. But whatever. He tells Trisha how he's happy for her, and I'm glad, And she lets him know about the session that she had with Dr. Francis about being closed off, and she shares how, at one point she was jealous of Ken in a relationship he had with the kids, because she felt like she was being left out. Again, that sounds like somewhat of abandonment, but I'm no therapist yet. However, it's a lot. I like Trisha. I like Trisha a lot. I really, really want to see her through these therapy sessions. I really, really do, y'all. But I just want Ken to make an appointment to go sit on Dr. Francis' couch too. Okay, not at the same time with Trisha. Y'all gonna have to get into that space. But I also want Trisha to really get into this get into the space of divorcing Marquez, so she can energetically emotionally let go of that part of her life. I just don't know. Anyway, so we get to see my girl, your girl, okay, because that's everybody's girl. Miss Pump It Up herself, okay? Miss Wanda in her food truck, okay? Miss Wanda came a long way in her food truck. I heard good things about Miss Wanda-ful, okay? I don't know if Miss Wanda is back there cooking, or if she hired cooks. But I really do like the progress that Wanda has made as far as her food truck. Because Miss Wanda's still ignorant, okay? Ain't a damn thing changed about Wanda except for her hip, okay? Because that bob was like, pop, 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 pop. And her confessional looked good, okay? She ate up her confessional look, okay? I wasn't mad at that. My girl say she not wearing spritz no more. Okay, go ask your mammy if she's still wearing spritz, because it ain't. So, Tisha hugs her mama. I have never, and I mean never, as long as this show been on, I have never seen Tisha hug Miss Wanda, or Miss Wanda hug Tisha. Ever. Not ever. But okay, we're going to try something new. I'm not mad at it. And again, about the umpteenth time, Tisha has brought up Nell. But this is what Tisha does. When she don't want to fight her battles, guess who she called? She called her mama, which is why they really went on a trip. So she can talk to her mama about Nell, and so her mama and Nell can get into it. And I just kind of feel like that's fucked up, because you know how your mama is, and you know how your mama gonna pop off. And I'm not mad at that. Like, your mom have your back, but be a grown ass woman about it. You kept saying that, I'm not bothered by Nell. You act like you're not bothered, but this right here constantly shows us how bothered you are. To the point where your mama and Nell gonna get into it. You've always done that. Grow the fuck up. Like, girl. Y'all, I'm sorry. Tisha annoys the hell out of me. And I like Tisha. But this is annoying as fuck. And then, because I'm cursing and I'm just about to say this. Then you gonna use the Bible scripture about, respecting your elders and all of that. And I'm just looking at Tisha like, girl, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because you sound real crazy. But you gonna throw your mama in that mix. But Kimmy sat there and ain't mumble a word. As she always does not. Okay? Kimmy never says anything. Kimmy is always smart. She always let Tisha spill the beans. And then when Tisha feels like she's in the water by herself, then she throw everybody else in there. And she was like, well, she told Destiny. And then Wanda tried to get on Destiny. And Destiny was like, I go try that with somebody else. Okay? So, Wanda being Wanda, she said she believed that lady. The NDA lady that was in the room with Scott 1.0, 2.0, and Marceau. Okay? She said she believed that lady. Now, you wanted to talk about Nell. That's what Nell was asking y'all about. This whole woman and all of this situation. Y'all didn't want to talk about it. So now, Wanda is asking the questions. Do you believe your husband? Kimmy, I just believe Kimmy will turn a blind eye and deal with it however the hell she deal with it. But Tisha was very avoidant. Just like she did with Nell. If you want to know no, she was talking about the Martell situation. But Martell situation comes from, I don't know, this whole him having that lady on the show. And I don't know. It's just, at some point, it's all stupid. Okay? Anyway, Tisha was like, she didn't want to talk about that. She tried to avoid it. And Miss Wanda was like, look, y'all, y'all always want to believe y'all husbands. And sometimes you got to wonder if y'all husbands might be lying. She did not say that, but that's what she was saying. That's what I got out of it. But Tisha and Kimmy, they're going to continue to protect their husbands at all costs. I can't be mad at it because they ain't mad at it. It is what it is. Like, they're going to protect their husbands. I'm just saying, these are the same questions that Nell asked, but, we're here now. And again, Wanda ain't just going to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to take her for my baby. Yeah, I'm going to handle Nell. I'm going to handle her. But I'm coming around to handle Marceau. Because Wanda believes that Marceau has been fucking around. Wanda do not believe that man has been faithful to his daughter. She don't. We don't believe that, but we just don't care about that anymore. I just don't understand, why is that so much of a storyline? Why is it even... These people don't want to share their business. They don't want to talk about it. And it is fine. If Carlos don't have a problem with it, why we got a problem with it? Okay? I just say you replace these hoes with 3 or 4 more couples and 5 more couples in Alabama. And replace Martell. We good. Okay? And Destiny. Okay? Because we good. We need a reboot, or we just need to, 86 it. And put your all in the Bell Collective. Okay? I'm exhausted. Y'all. Anyway, this is it, y'all. This is all I got. Tomorrow, I will see y'all. Tomorrow is Sunday, so y'all know Married to Medicine comes back. So I will have Housewives of Potomac and Married to Medicine tomorrow night. All right. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.